Good afternoon, everyone. First of all, thank you for joining our webinar today, and I'll be your host for this webinar. My name is Reynalo Alosos, and I'm one of the Senior System Sales Consultant. Today's session is the third and the last episode on Product Update webinar series. So before I proceed with the agenda for this afternoon, first thing first, our house rules. This webinar is recorded. The replay of this webinar can be accessed in the official CIM Technologies Incorporated YouTube channel within 48 hours only. You are muted by default. In case you have concerns, please use the chat box to type in your message. In case you have questions in the middle of the speaker's presentation, please type in the chat box so that it will be addressed during the open forum and question and answer session. There will be an e-certificate of attendance. It will be automatically generated to those who will participate and completed the survey later. This webinar is scheduled to last up to an hour, including the question and answer. I will introduce to you our company first before introducing to you our main speaker for the main topic. Again, please feel free to type or questions in the chat box as there will be an open forum after the discussion. Then before we wrap up, we will flash on screen the quick survey and give you some final announcements. So before I proceed with the main topic, let me introduce to you first our company. CIM Technologies has been providing technology solution from software to hardware for 30 years already. More than that, we are also offering training, technical support, and other expanded services for the AEC and manufacturing industries. These are the solutions we are offering for 3D. We have conceptual design, detailed design for architectural, MEP, and structural. We also have clash analysis, animations and photorealistic renderings, visualization, quantity takeoff, construction documents, energy model analysis, and collaboration among project teams. We also have project management scheduling for 4D, cost planning and estimates for 5D, building performance analysis for 6D, and facility management for 7D. In case you know someone or you have requirements for manufacturing solutions, here's our offerings. We are also offering trusted work large format printers and platters powered by HP and industry-leading fixed and mobile workstation by Dell. If you want to set an appointment for a virtual demo in HP large format printer, you may send us message in the chat box. In case you have problems with your maintenance side, we can offer to you our IT services such as maintenance agreement and preventive maintenance for HP plotters and printers, diagnosis and repairs, network design layout, network cabling, network configurations, and system or network administration services. We also have our service division, which is Alteon 3D, to provide you our expanded services such as 2D drafting, large format scanning, printing and platting, 3D BIM services, prototyping, product design, and many more. Please visit www.alteon3d.com to see other service offerings. And we also have our training division, which is the Stanford IT Learning, to provide you basic to advanced training and education in the field of AEC, manufacturing, and power and utilities industries. The good news about it is that our trainings are now available online and you can pay through the website as well. So if you want to learn about any BIM tools and the best practices or latest trends in relation to your job role, you can learn it from Stanford. I'm humbly presenting to you our partners for the solutions and services that we are offering. Feel free to contact us in case you have requirements that you think we can provide for you. So now, without any further ado, let me turn over the screen to the main speaker of the webinar, our application engineer, Ms. Jesper Joy Ravaula.
Afternoon, everyone, and welcome to this presentation entitled Product Update Webinar for What's New in AutoCAD 2020. So I am Jasper Joy Vaula. I'm an applications engineer here in CIM Technologies. Okay. So today we will have a brief overview of what are the latest features and enhancements for AutoCAD 2021. Okay, so starting with what is AutoCAD 2021? So as we know, AutoCAD is a computer-aided design software that architects, engineers, and construction professionals rely on to create a 2D and 3D drawing. Now, with the latest version of AutoCAD, which is the 2021 version, we can now access seamless workflows, specialized industry toolsets, and new automations to help us achieve the ultimate productivity in 2D and 3D design. AutoCAD 2021 is also at a full value for the subscribers. Here is the overview of what we will cover. So first, it's all about the right AutoCAD for you. If you are subscribed to AutoCAD 2021, you will have an access to the right tools for the job. And secondly, it is about the AutoCAD's web app and mobile apps. It gives us the freedom and flexibility to work on anything, anywhere, and edit in time. Lastly, AutoCAD continues to deliver new features, including new automations and enhancements through an existing functions. So let's start with your AutoCAD. AutoCAD 2021 enables us to work faster and more efficiently across disciplines. With 7 toolsets, we still have the access to industry-specific features and libraries. So over the past 20 years, Autodesk have been investing in AutoCAD vertical specialized toolsets. This is to help make AutoCAD as personalized and experienced as possible. So subscribing to AutoCAD 2021, you will gain access to all the capabilities of industry-specific toolsets and libraries, including the following. So we have here the architecture toolset, electrical, mechanical, MEP, Map 3D, raster design toolset, and Plant 3D. So, no matter what the design challenge you are facing at work, you'll always have the right tool at hand. So with these toolsets, you can access the libraries of 700,000 symbols, parts, and detail components. So with that, you'll be able to automate floor plans, sections, elevations, and more. You can easily create detailed views from 3D models. You can also generate schedules, lists, and tables. So just a quick poll. Uh, Please answer this in your screen. So the question is, how do you view your AutoCAD drawing files when you're in the field or on site? So it could be your laptop, your working computer, you bring it on site with the AutoCAD full version installed in it. Secondly, you convert it first into a PDF file and then eventually bring that PDF file to your mobile or your tablets, and then you can access it there. Or lastly, you use the AutoCAD web app or mobile app. Okay, so with that, Paul, uh, we will now take a closer look at the AutoCAD web app and AutoCAD mobile app. So these apps provides fast, seamless access to the DWG files wherever we are. So it could be from virtually any device. The AutoCAD apps make it possible to continue to design and draft with the most up-to-date files when we are on the field or on the go. So the AutoCAD subscription includes access to the web app and mobile apps. These apps enable you to work on any DWG file using AutoCAD on any platform. So whether you choose to use the AutoCAD for Windows, it could be for Mac, or web, or on a mobile device. So be it an iPad, iPhone, Android, or Windows device, you have the right version of AutoCAD for you. You can achieve a cohesive experience across various platforms. The state-of-the-art web and mobile apps enable you to take your work anywhere and have a peace of mind that AutoCAD will be there for you. Okay? So AutoCAD web app. So you can access the latest drawings from anywhere without having AutoCAD installed on your computer. So you can view, edit, and create CAD drawings in a simplified web interface that runs in your web browser. With the AutoCAD web app, there's nothing to download. You just simply sign in with your Autodesk ID at web.autocad.com and start working with your drawing. So since there's no software installation required, since it runs online on a web browser like let's say Chrome or Firefox, its user interface shares a similar design to that of the AutoCAD desktop with properties panel, a ribbon-like tool, and a command line. So using the AutoCAD web app, you can view and measure geometry. You can also create, edit those geometries. You can manage geometry properties with layers. You can also add annotation and revision clouds, insert blocks defined in the drawing, and open and edit DWG files stored in a third-party cloud storage providers. But please bear in mind that the AutoCAD web app has limited functions compared to that of a full version AutoCAD software. Next is the AutoCAD mobile app. So you can take the power of AutoCAD with you wherever you go. So with the easy-to-use tools, you can take measurements on site or edit CAD drawings during client meetings. On any smartphone or tablet, just simply download the AutoCAD mobile app from your app store. Okay, so mobile app is designed specifically for the students or for the personnel that are working on site for a while. As what I am saying, the AutoCAD web app is designed especially for users working on site, and mobile apps has adapted many of the traditional desktop tools that are developed new mobile only tools to extend the power of AutoCAD to mobile. Okay, so for the next poll, the question is, where do you securely store your drawing files? Okay, so it could be in a flash drive, HDD, server, or your cloud storage. Okay, so just pick one for this poll. All right. Okay, so with that poll, Uh, because now in AutoCAD 2021, you have the ability to connect to your cloud's storage providers. Okay? So you can save your drawing files to your cloud account for your remote access and additional backup security. And so you can easily access your drawings from any location in the world with internet device or internet access on any device. It could be your desktop, it could be your web, or your mobile phone. Okay. So with AutoCAD on desktop, web, and mobile, you can take the power of AutoCAD with you. You can be productive on site or on the go with the essential tools that let you view, create, and edit and add drawings on your smartphone, tablet, or your computer. So there is no need to be bringing printed drawings on job sites or plant visits any longer. Okay, so to conclude, let's now take a look at some of the features and enhancements that have been added to AutoCAD 2021 that are available to all active subscribers of AutoCAD. So first is the graphic performance improvements. Okay, so like with the previous releases, graphics performances have been improved in AutoCAD 2021. The speed of panning and zooming in 2D has been enhanced with a technique that takes advantage of objects with similar properties. Another technique that displays appropriate levels of details at different level of magnification. So when panning and zooming in real time in 2D, AutoCAD-based products automatically perform the generation operation as needed. So normally, this operation is not noticeable except in very large drawing. But when working in 3D models, navigation generates higher or lower fidelity graphical representations of 3D geometry in some circumstances. The product's responsiveness when using 3D orbit, pan, and zoom, uh, those operations has been improved significantly by making use of the multi-core processors. So this improvement is most noticeable also on complex 3D models using visual styles that render curved surfaces. Okay, so the second one is the cloud storage connectivity. Okay, so there is even more value for AutoCAD subscription for AutoCAD 2021. So last year, AutoCAD 2020, Autodesk announced partnership with Box, Dropbox, and OneDrive. So this year, Google Drive support has been added as well. So if it's a DWG file, it will open in the AutoCAD web app, and then it can be accessed in multiple platforms and devices with a web browser. So you can open any DWG file with a leading cloud storage provider. And when you save and open drawing files using your account with the cloud storage provider, you can get convenient and reliable access to your drawings. So your drawing also becomes accessible for viewing and editing from any of your internet connected devices. It could be your tablet, or when you're in the field. Okay, so or for example, you are using a web browser on a different desktop computer in a remote location. So if all you need is a temporary remote access to some small or medium drawings, instead of emailing them to yourself or copying them to a USB device, you can simply save them to your Autodesk web account or mobile account with the web and mobile feature. Okay, so here are the benefits of cloud storage connectivity. So, in accessing your drawings from a cloud storage provider, the primary benefits are first, the accessibility, of course. So, you have the worldwide access anywhere with an internet connection. And so, when the local servers are inaccessible due to, let's say, flooding, fires, or other emergency events, you can still access your drawings from a different location. Next is the security. So cloud storage providers invest far more resources to guard against file loss and intrusion than most companies and individuals can afford. Okay, so you can also purchase if you want encryption products to encrypt your files to your cloud accounts. Decommissioned servers also typically go through a secure destruction procedure for both the data and the physical hardware. The third one is the reliability. Okay, so cloud storage providers distribute and manage backups and multiple servers in different locations. And then lastly, the history. Okay, so the files stored in your cloud account maintain multiple versions as they were saved. So previous versions of drawing are accessible for comparison from the AutoCAD version history palette. So that with that being said, the third new enhancement or new feature in AutoCAD 2021 is the drawing history. So the new drawing history feature can be a game changer for our workflow. So this gives you insights in the evolution of your drawings, and you can easily see changes made to your drawings over time. So you can get automatic insights by comparing previous versions right within the context of your drawing. Okay, so if you access a file saved in the cloud storage provider, could be Dropbox, OneDrive, or Box, or Google Drive, then you can easily compare a drawing with previous versions of that drawing. So this is especially helpful if you have multiple people working on the same drawing. So drawing files saved to your cloud maintain previous versions of DWG files that now can be accessed in the new drawing history palette. So in the palette, you can choose which version to compare your drawing history or by filtering the date, the user, or the minimum time between versions. So the compare button automatically opens when the DWG compare feature and the differences are displayed right in the current drawing. So you can also import changes from the previous version into the current drawing in real time. Okay, so next I have here a short video regarding the drawing history feature. Okay, so from this video, let's say you just got back from a meeting with a client to get feedback on some of the recent work. And so, when you try to open the file, you're immediately prompted or notified that the drawing has been updated. So, this is the notification at the corner right side of your screen. Now, you can open the compare state to view the differences between the current version with the last one that you saved. Okay? So let's say your team experimented with adding some rooms on the floor plan, but during the review, the client said that they wanted to go back to an open floor plan that you had earlier. So now you can pull up the new drawing history palette to see past versions of the drawing. So from this palette, you can filter previous versions by the name that was saved them and by when the drawing has been saved. And then once you've identified the right plan from the history palette, you can then now choose to compare this past version with the current drawing. So the open floor plan from the previous version represented in red, as you can see. So you can turn off the visibility for the previous version so that you can select the new geometry and then erase it. And so when you turn the previous version back on, it will show the open floor plan. Okay? So you can use the import feature to bring this geometry into current drawing. And because this is a live comparison, any deleted geometry that was shared by both versions will show in the previous version, so you can import that back to the current drawing. Now, the open floor plan is restored. So one benefit of the drawing history feature is that the geometry that you import will automatically be added to the correct layer based on the layer from the previous version. Okay? And if there were recent changes that you wanted to keep in the drawing, you can leave them or place it in the exit the compare palette. Okay, so the state with the best both of versions will now be in your screen. Okay, so what's best is that we can do all of this without having to save or manage separate file versions. Okay, so the fourth one, we have here the xrep compare. So xrep compare is another benefit of the latest version of AutoCAD. So you can use the DWG compare feature for the external references that are attached to your drawing. You can compare two versions of an external reference file or xref and implement changes without leaving your current drawing. So if a reference drawing has changed, a notification will be displayed automatically in your AutoCAD. So just simply click that notification right here to compare the changes within the context of your current drawing. So like DWG compare, XWeb compare shows you the differences between versions with revision clouds. So you can toggle on and off the comparison or scroll through each differences. And when you make changes, the current XREP and make the changes to the current drawing, the differences will be highlighted in real time. So you can also select the objects from the compared XREP and import them into the current external references in real time. Okay. So next is the revision cloud updates. So revision clouds now include a single value for their approximate arc chord length. So the distance between the endpoints of each art segment prior to the AutoCAD 2021, the revision cloud object was considered as a polyline. Okay, so for best results, before adding the revision cloud to a drawing, it was always best to set the revision cloud arc length to a suitable value to ensure that the revision cloud would be visible as a cloud. Okay, so AutoCAD 2021 now takes care of both of those complications. Okay, so the revision cloud is now a new object, even though it is still a variation of a polyline. When creating a revision cloud in a drawing for the first time, the revision cloud's arc length is set based on a percentage of the diagonal length of the current view. So the revision cloud will be visible regardless of the size of the display. So the properties palette now identifies the revision cloud as a rev cloud rather than a polyline object. So next is the black palette enhancements. So this feature was introduced in the last release, which has been improved now in AutoCAD 2021 in a way that you can be able to access all your blocks from anywhere at any time. So you can use your Autodesk account with a supported cloud storage provider, could be your Box, Dropbox, OneDrive, or Google Drive, to get quick and anytime access to your recent blocks or block library drawings. So the recent tab of the blocks displays snapshots of the recent inserted or created blocks in the current drawing. So you can sync the recent blocks in the drawing to a cloud storage location and access them from any device using AutoCAD desktop or AutoCAD web app. So in this video, Autodesk in 2020, AutoCAD 2020, Autodesk introduced a new way of managing blocks with a new blocks palette. And so in AutoCAD 2021, Autodesk made improvements to the block palettes that make the blocks accessible from anywhere. So if the block library and recent blocks are set to a supported storage provider such as uh, Dropbox, OneDrive, or Google Drive, you will be able to access the blocks across other devices on the AutoCAD web app. So from this drawing, a fixture will be inserted to the office room model in the updated palette. So we can find, preview, and insert those blocks. So you can simply select a folder from a cloud storage provider that contains the block, and we can simply add a sync block in the drawing. So let's say later on, you are away from the computer and just realize that you need to insert a different sync. So even though we don't have the access to our AutoCAD application, we can use the AutoCAD web app from any browser. And since the block library is saved on the cloud, we have the access to the same block library. So we can now simply fix the sync and then uh, put it in the drawing. Then on the blocks tab, you can use the block library to add or modify new sync according to your block library. So now that we have fixed the drawing, you can simply save it. And with the new blocks palette in AutoCAD Desktop and AutoCAD Web App, you'll be connected to the block content anywhere at any time. Okay, so the seventh feature enhancement in AutoCAD is the break at point. So break objects at a single point. So this is a new updated command that is more accurate and reliable unlike before. So I'm not saying that it wasn't reliable previously, but there are some changes that makes it more user friendly for AutoCAD 2021. So you can accurately specify the distances to separate a line, arc, or open polyline into two objects at any point you select. So using the new break at point command. Next is the quick measure. So quick measure, which is a tool that now also measures area much faster than that of the standard area tool. So the quick option of the measure geometry command now supports measuring the area and the perimeter within a space enclosed by geometric objects in the plan view of a drawing. So just by simply clicking within a closed area, it will highlight the area in green and displays the calculated values in the command window. So in a dynamic tooltip in the current units, it will also be displayed. So if you use shift click to several areas, the cumulative area and perimeters will also be calculated. So the ninth and last enhancement for AutoCAD is the trim and extend. So trim and extend now takes all the drawing objects and defines them as cutting edges or boundary edges. So in this way, you don't need to select edges in a new form. So the default behavior is changed to quick mode, which is set by a system variable. And so all the objects become potential trim boundaries and object selection defaults to individual objects or two-point fence or freehand dragging. So with the new default quick mode, it selects all potential boundaries and by default for the trim and extend commands. So after you start the trim and extend commands, you can simply just select the objects to be trimmed or extended, or it could be trim or extended in the individual selection, freehand selection, or two-point selection. You can start a freehand selection by holding down the left mouse button or dragging the cursor through one or more objects. So those selected objects that cannot be trimmed are deleted automatically. So with this, that sums up all the enhancement and adjustments and new tools that have been added to AutoCAD 2021 release. So thank you so much for listening. And now let us proceed to the open forum. I am now opening the floor for question. Kindly type your questions in the chat box and I will answer it to the best I can. Okay, so we have here a question. Do we need a data or internet connection? So for the AutoCAD web app, okay, so for AutoCAD web app, of course, to access the browser, we need a data or internet connection. Okay, as well as with the DWG drawing history because we need internet connection for us to access the cloud storage. Okay, any more questions po? Okay, so while waiting on the questions in the chat box, I will share with you some of the common question asked with the AutoCAD 2021 updates. Okay, so the first one is, when not using third-party cloud storage, where are the files stored when using the AutoCAD mobile or AutoCAD web application? Okay, so the answer is, when accessing files using the AutoCAD mobile app or the AutoCAD web app, the files are uploaded to the AutoCAD cloud. So this support a cross-platform access. Now, AutoCAD Cloud currently use the Amazon S3 servers, which comply with the auditing standards number 70 or the Type 2 certified. So with this, we can be certain that our files stored in the AutoCAD Cloud is secure. Okay? So let's see another question. You can just type your question here in the chat box. Okay, so another question is there any modification about 3D commands in AutoCAD 2021? So, commands specifically, so we have no modification so far. So, the modification for 3D only covers the graphic performance enhancement. So, for the specific command, we have no currently update for that. Okay, so next question is, do you need to download the file to view or edit in cloud? Okay, so if you want to access your files or drawings in the web.autocad.com or the AutoCAD web app, you can simply access it there. You will be able to see it automatically in that site. Now, if you want to open your drawings in your AutoCAD desktop, you need to access it through your web app. So in AutoCAD, you have there an option to open files in web application, and then you can easily download it there inside your AutoCAD application. So you can also simply edit and view that in the AutoCAD web app without downloading it in your local computer or mobile. So the minimum requirement is we recommend 64-bit and 16 gig RAM. 8 gig RAM will do, but we recommend up to 16 gig RAM if you're going to use 3D modeling. So for the system requirements, you can email us and we will send you the complete list of the software requirements for AutoCAD 2021, as well as with the specialized industry toolsets. Okay. So what is the minimum internet speed to be able to access AutoCAD web at an optimum level? So of course, we would like to recommend 10 Mbps up, but 5 Mbps speed will do for you to access the web app. So this is not like the AutoCAD or A360. Okay, so AutoCAD Web App is only applies for AutoCAD software. So you will not be able to use it for other products. So I think A360 is also a cloud uh, online or cloud storage for Autodesk. So it is almost the same. But for AutoCAD Web App, it is only applicable for AutoCAD product. Okay. Any more questions? So if you're talking, so for A360, need to download file to edit. Okay, I don't know uh, if that's a question. So if you're asking about the AutoCAD web app, if you need to download it to edit the file, so no, you simply need to access AutoCAD web app through web.autocad.com and then sign in your account, and then eventually you can edit your DWG files from there within the interface of the web app. Okay, so you don't need to download it in your local computer. Just access it through the web or through the browser. Okay? So next question is there any updates about rendering features of AutoCAD 2021? So for the current update of AutoCAD 2021, so far we have no rendering feature updates. Okay? Any more question? Okay? Can use AutoCAD for multi-user. Okay? So if you subscribe to AutoCAD using multi-user, of course, that is possible po. But when we say multi-users, different individual person has their each Autodesk account, and then eventually they can collaborate within each other. So in a single file or a single drawing, you can work together with multiple people or multiple users of AutoCAD. Okay, any more questions? Any more questions from the group? Okay, while waiting, let me share with you another common question. Okay, so how to access the AutoCAD web app? Is the web app available for other Autodesk products? So this is what I'm saying earlier. You can simply go to web.autocad.com and sign in with your Autodesk account. So web app is the web app available for other Autodesk products? So no, the web app program only applies to the AutoCAD. Okay. So if editing online, can others also access while editing it online? So yes, you can share your work online with other people within your group, within your organization. Okay, so that is possible. So that is why you can work together with your colleagues in a specific drawing using the AutoCAD web app, because you don't need to transfer it through email or to save it in a flash drive and then give it to them. You can just both simply access it through the AutoCAD web app or your cloud storage provider. Okay, any more questions? You can give them restriction, I think. So let's say, for example, you are the owner. You can give them restriction that they can only view those files, or you will allow them to edit that file. So the question is, can they can access not as read only? Okay. So that is the answer. So they can access it through read only if you don't want to share it them if you don't want to share it to them as owner or editor of that file. Any more question from the audience? So if I'm editing, can they access not as read only? Okay. So while you're editing, of course, they will you can restrict that file that while you're editing, they cannot access it at the same time you are editing it. But if you're done editing it and then you want to share it with them, you can, I think you can restrict their access by read only. So yes, this is online. So this the editing we're talking about here is if you want to edit your files using the AutoCAD web app. So that is online. Okay. Again, if you want to access the AutoCAD web app, you should be connected to the internet. So the question is there a limit when adding people who can access? I'm not sure with the limit of number of people as of now, but let me get back to you, sir, if there will be a limit with that. So I'll just get your email address and then I'll answer that question for you through email. Okay? Any more question po? Is there a lifespan? If is there a lifespan on online storing? Okay, so this is the thing. When you use a cloud storage provider, so they have a when you call what you call this lifespan for the history version, but the file itself, it is up to the subscription you have to the cloud storage provider. Okay, so but when we're talking about the history file versions, I think the minimum lifespan is up to 30 days. Okay, but the file itself, the file of your drawing, will be stored then as long as you are connected to them or subscribed to them, depending on your contract with the cloud storage provider. Now, if you're talking about storing your file through your web application, uh, that will also depends on your subscription to the AutoCAD software, because AutoCAD web app comes free together with the AutoCAD application. So as long as you're subscribed to AutoCAD, you will still access your AutoCAD web app. But another thing, if your subscription ended in AutoCAD web app, you can still be able to view your files there. So that will not be deleted automatically, because you can still, if you're not subscribed anymore, you can still use that for free. But you can just view it, but you will not be able to edit those files anymore. Okay. Any more question from the audience? Okay. Any more question? Okay, so I'll be sharing to you another common question. So how to subscribe to AutoCAD web app? So the AutoCAD web app is not available as a standalone subscription. So this is what I'm saying earlier. The AutoCAD web app is included for free with an subscription to AutoCAD. Okay. So another common question is, does the AutoCAD specialized toolset has the same product updates as with AutoCAD 2021? So the answer is no, but only the architecture toolset has the same product enhancement with AutoCAD 2021, such as the DWG history, the XREF compare, and then the revision cloud. So the other toolset has a specific updates or enhancement depending on their requirement. Okay? Still no question in the chat box. I will continue with the last common question. The last common question is, do I need a cloud storage to compare DWG file? Okay, so this was already answered earlier. So yes, because to access the version history list, you need to be on a subscription and have an account with a supported cloud storage provider. So again, those providers are Dropbox, Box, Microsoft OneDrive, and also Google Drive. Okay, is AutoCAD web app applicable for lower version of AutoCAD? Uh, AutoCAD web app, I think, was introduced AutoCAD 2019. In AutoCAD 2019. So you can have that you can access AutoCAD web app if you're subscribed as well in AutoCAD 2019 version. But if you want to open files in AutoCAD web app, it supports lower versions of files. Lower versions of AutoCAD. So what happens if someone accidentally erased the file in cloud? So it is recommended that you are using your own storage account in the cloud, because that will be a problem if ever that your files will be deleted by someone in the cloud. But if you want to be secured in saving your clouds, you can activate the BAK saving in your desktop to have a file format BAK, so that you can recover those files that was deleted. So what is the maximum file size limit number of DWG CAD files the cloud storage can handle? So again, the cloud storage, depending on the what you call this, the limit of your memory size or cloud storage number in your subscription, that is the what is the maximum file size? Okay, so first, for the maximum file size, you can save bigger files in AutoCAD web app as long as it can support it, as long as the internet connection of your computer can support the uploading. Okay, so the number of DWG CAD files depends on how much storage you have in your cloud subscription. Okay, any more question? Okay, any more question from the audience? Going once. Okay. All right. So if there will be no more questions, thank you so much for attending this webinar. So if you have additional questions or inquiry, just simply email us in inquiry@cimtechnologies.com, or you can also visit www.cimtechnologies.com. Now, for the questions that have not been answered, I will just email you for the clarification of those questions. So now, let me turn over the screen to Miss Rina for the final announcements. So, Miss Rina.
Participants for your questions. Before we end this session, we would like to know your thoughts about the webinar by answering our poll questions on screen. We will be sending you the e-certificate of attendance once you completed this survey. So for the survey question number 1, are you currently using AutoCAD 2021 version already? Are you interested to enroll for an online training to learn Autodesk software? How satisfied were you with the webinar? How relevant is the topic to you? How do you rate the speaker? Lastly, would you like to request for a software demo? So thank you for participating our survey. Your responses are valuable to us and we will definitely consider your feedback for our future improvements. Let me also share with you our upcoming webinars for you. You might want to invite your colleagues or to your management to join this webinar. We would like to invite you and your colleagues and friends to join us for the last episode of the Reimagine and Rethink a Built World with AEC Collection Essentials webinar series, which is Generative Design Workflow, on January 21st, 2021. Register to the link that we sent you in the chat box. All right, so I think we come to end this webinar. Once again, thank you and we look forward to seeing you online to our next webinar sessions.